the way. I've pulled it up onto the screen, and here we go. Once again, my name is Jeff Ashby. Before we begin any presentation about MicroDaily and these incredible micronutrients, I need to protect us legally. You're welcome to follow along with me as I read these statements, and comments have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This information is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Engage, the micronutrient company, does not claim that our products diagnose, treat, cure, heal, or prevent any disease or injury. Engage's products do, however, address our deficiencies and provide our bodies with the nutrition that we are lacking. So that having been taken care of, Jonathan reached out to me earlier, and he says, hey, do we have any testimonials? I actually have 2 testimonials of individuals who have suffered from Lyme's disease. Once again, we're not making any diagnosis. We're not suggesting anything other than let's correct some micronutrient deficiencies that exist in our own bodies. But let me go ahead and share. First off, this is Dennis Anderson. And all right, you guys.
Anderson. And I'm a walking miracle. But what I was going to preface everything was, when I tell people all these amazing results, and then they sample the product for 2 weeks and go, why am I not getting any results? It's like, okay, how sick are you? What's going on? What type of nutrients, how much exercise, how much food do you take? What type of food? But for me, for the first time in 27 years, I am over Lyme disease. That's where a tick bites you, and a spirochete goes into the body, goes into the brain, starts eating the brain away. It eats the nervous system away, and you become unable at times to walk. Joint pain in every joint, muscle pains. You can't read, you can't function, you can't think. You're lucky to even take one step at a time. But I've been on the product now for 3 years. I will not live without it. The first thing I saw was I had neuropathy from my knee on down so bad that 5 years ago, I dropped a 30-pound vise on it, couldn't feel a thing. That's after breaking 2 bones, blood all over the place. Now, if I step on a kernel of popcorn or the cat food, my wife hears me real well. The other thing, I got actually 2 doctor stories I like to tell. One, I was developing a double vision in my eye. My daughter works for Dr. Richens, and they had me coming in every 3 months because I had a cataract that was growing. And they figured, okay, when it gets so bad, they're going to operate it, make money, and get me back to seeing. Well, I start on the MMF, and I go in there, and my daughter checks me and gives all the test results to the doctor. She looks at it and goes, oh, Dennis, you're seeing through your cataract. Come back in a year. I go, okay. All I can think of is every 3 months, I don't have to spend that $45, you know? Well, I get home, tell my wife, the phone rings, it's the doctor's office. Could you please bring information and samples of what you're taking? I'm going, great, okay. Now I've got another man story. It's the prostate issue. Yes, a man story. Women sometimes don't, no, I'm just kidding you. But over the last 6-7 years, my PSA, that's the count of if you're in trouble with your prostate, kept growing, jumping 1 to 2 points every year, bang, bang, bang. And if it gets above 4, you're in what they call the cancer region. Well, 2.5 years ago, I hit 3.7, and my doctor was very emphatic that I do something that year. Well, that's about the time I'm getting started on MMF. And I'm noticing I'm able to flow much better, but I'm actually was skipping some of the medication. And so the next year I show up and I give him information about MMF, and I start telling him, hey, I'm not taking your medication. Things are going great. And he was all upset because, you know, this is the year. I mean, you were up to 3.7. He just went on and on. Finally, he checks me and goes, oh, it shrunk. Okay. The PSA went from 3.7 down to 1.3 in a year's time frame. I am now off my prostate medications. Thank you, MMM.
Yeah, pretty incredible there. I remember sitting there in the hotel room, which is a small room, and hearing that firsthand. I've got one more.
Wrong. Okay. Hi, My name is Winnie. I've had Lyme for 30 years. I got a bullseye rash. I stopped being able to run. I had sensitivity to light, migraines. I got sicker and sicker. And pretty soon my life turned into this little teeny thing, just smaller and smaller and smaller, until I wasn't leaving the house. I was in bed all the time. Every time I went outside, I got sick. And I was writing my will when my good friend Mike called and said, "How you doing, Winnie?" And I said, "Not so good, Mike. I think I'm dying." And he said, "Oh no, well, I've got this really weird product. Since you're dying, why don't you try it?" So he brought over some MMF and I tried it. He said, "Just try a teeny bit, because I know you're really sensitive." And I tried a little bit, and I felt like some warm wind just blew through my head. And I thought, wow, I haven't felt anything like this ever. So I tried a little more and a little more, and I've been on MMF for 9 months now, and my life is slowly expanding out again. I am able to go out and see friends. I am able to visit, go to movies. I'm able to invite people over. I can, okay, you have to follow me, Mike. This is important. I can bend my knees again. I haven't been able to do this for 20 years. This is amazing. That's the first thing that went for me, was the knees. I'm so thrilled and shocked that this MMF has made so many changes for me. I can go shopping. I love clothes. I have hope. I have hope. I have a life. It's not perfect yet, but I feel it, and I see it getting better every day that I take MMF, and I'm on a regular dose now. I had to start really small, and I had to really be careful because it's a very strong product for me. I also have porphyria, which makes me very sensitive to neurotoxins, and I can't take a lot of regular drugs. My blood was black before MMF, or there's a bunch of reasons for that. And with the MMF, my blood is now a nice blood color. It's a red color. My blood work has changed. I have some abnormal markers that are actually normalizing for the first time in my life. I actually am able to ride my bike again. I'm able to, I got very chemically sensitive, and I was not able to tolerate any kind of scent or shampoo products. And I'm able to be in a room with normal people now. I don't even know what to do with this new life. I'm so surprised. I'm going to have to reinvent myself as a person who's alive again. But I'm thrilled, and I would love to tell everybody to try it. Try MMF. MMF helps cells repair themselves no matter what's going on with you. I mean, my case was so bad and so peculiar that nothing else was really helping. And I've seen MMF help a bunch of people now with different ailments, different illnesses, I just think if it repairs cells, why not try it? If it helps your body work more efficiently, why not? If it helps detox, which it definitely helps me detox, I don't get migraines every day anymore. That's huge. I just want to extend this hope to people, and just, why not? That's what Mike said to me. Why not? Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, pretty incredible, huh? I know it goes back a few years, and we would tell her to take more instead of easing her way into it, but that was just how she needed to do it. And look at the difference.
Wow.
The difference.
Maybe thank you very much, by the way, for getting everything started. But maybe you could answer a couple of questions. I'm not sure how familiar you are with either of their situations, but why would microdaily work on something like Lyme's disease? And she said her blood was black. Why would it have an impact on those two things?
It's once again, it's back to just correcting the micronutrient deficiencies. The body is the miracle. I mean, we've been, how long have people been on this earth, and how many different situations have we all faced? And it's our immune system. Our immune system is what ultimately protects us. And that's what Dr. Prasad figured out about radiation. I mean, what was the difference between those two rabbits? Well, it wasn't that the microdaily went in and offered a shield of protection. All it did is we'll go in and say, hey, you know what? You've been given this immune system. Let's ramp it up. Let's give it, all 12 cylinders to work on. And so, you know what? How long have ticks been around? How long has Lyme's disease been here with us? It's just our body's inability to fight against it because we're nutritionally deficient.
Extremely true, and right on point too, because Legionnaire's disease, I think, was discovered when back in the 50s or the 60s, I think it was, where a bunch of people nearly died in a hotel. No, some of them died in a hotel, and that's the first time that they isolated it because someone said, "Wait a minute, I've seen this bacteria before," and the guy went and looked it up, and turns out that same bacteria had been around for forever. But now, I know it must have been the Legionnaires, I think was in the 70s. But by this time, there's the nutrition in the food had really just taken a drop, so the immune system just couldn't handle it anymore. So it makes a big difference when that happens. Interesting. Well, thank you again very much, Jeff, but don't go anywhere. So you just stay right there because I'd like to try something that we've been talking about before. There's a lot of folks that have had questions that have never been answered. And there's a bunch of people on here. I want to ask a couple of questions to the audience right now first. Just by, click on your digital hand there. How many of you have had even a little bit of benefit from microdaily? Just raise your digital hand, just a little bit of benefit. Bill's had a little bit. He's got his hand there. Rob, Alex. Oh, surprise. Jeff's had some benefit. Maxine, Anthony, Willie G, Evelyn Burns, Dolores, of course. Bill's waving his literal hands, forget his digital hands. Greg. I know, digital hand went up too for Bill. Bill Brady, no, okay. Sonia. Keep them up, just taking a little head count here to just see. Iris, Allison, Sonia, Anthony Walker, Jean, Willie G. So we got 13 out of 19 hands up right now. So let's get the number all the way to where it should be. So that's 14 gets my hand up. And that's it. Okay, so the others have not had even a little bit of benefit yet. So 14 out of 19 have had benefit from the product. So my question to you, if you've not told your story here before, could we hear what little benefit you got, if you don't mind? I'm just going to pick somebody who has not told their story yet. Bill, we never heard your story. Can you tell us what it is about microdaily that made you that you've had some benefit from, please?
Well, just recently, after looking into the ingredients in these products and hearing other testimonies, my wife and I both came down with COVID about 3 weeks ago. My wife recovered all right, but I went into what they considered long COVID. And I didn't want to be, I wanted to be well. It was to the point where I couldn't even talk to people because of my chest was hurting so much. So last week, I tripled up on everything. And I happened to call Rob this morning. He said he could tell in my voice. I said, yes, I'm over it. So the only thing that I have done different is triple up on the products. this little baby here.
So you've been suffering with long COVID, and now you're seeing the symptoms of long COVID clear up?
They're gone. I feel like 100. I feel 120% better than what I was before.
And most of your symptoms were respiratory?
Yes, respiratory, heavy cold, sore throat. And I had been coughing so much, my chest was so sore that every time I moved, I was in hurting status. But I wanted to get out of this long COVID, and I didn't know how long COVID lasts. But for me, it's taken me just about 8 days now of tripling up to get out of this long COVID. And the only thing I've done different is take these triple up on the products, the collagen, the our red bottle here, and I stopped taking the cough medicine that was recommended. So
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
The cough medicine, was it a prescription cough medicine or something?
No, it was over the counter, Dayquil.
Dayquil.
Yeah.
Okay, those over the counter Medicaid, all of them have components in them that deplete the body of glutathione. So that was a positive step by stopping that. So that's a good thing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Bill, for sharing your story. That's I think that's the first person who noted that they were dealing with long COVID symptoms that said that they saw a difference. So that's very helpful. We appreciate that. We'll talk about that again.
Yeah.
How about Evelyn Burns? Evelyn, are you able to come on screen, or you don't? It's not a requirement, but if you can.
Jonathan, Evelyn is unable to unmute her speaker.
Okay, let's see if we.
Not hearing anything.
Oh, that's too bad. Evelyn, we'll have to experiment with that because we'd love to hear your story. Okay, but for some reason we can't hear you right now. Your microphone isn't working properly. We'll experiment with that and show you how to call in on a phone on the same line. In fact, if anyone can send her a phone number to dial in, that might be helpful. But let's go on. We'll take the next one here. We've heard. Well, let's take Alex's story again, Alex, and then we'll take Greg's got some updates for us.
I call this micro daily product, it's like the A fountain of youth, because the things that I was experiencing, I had not experienced with any other product. I'm heavy into nutrition. I've tried many other products, but I have never found any this fast. And I always like to just mention the one about the brain. I do a lot of speaking, public speaking and teaching, and sometimes I would get a little confused as to what part of the outline I'm in. So when I found out about Micro Daily, they had a brain boost supplement. I wanted to try it to see. I said, I would like to see if that worked. I tried that before I tried the Micro Daily. And I had an epiphany right on the platform while I was teaching. My brain went just at the point when I would normally get a little confused. It completely cleared. All the fog disappeared, and I had this super focus and concentration. It was almost miraculous in my personal opinion how it felt. And I said, oh my goodness, this is incredible. And that was in a matter of hours. I got it Saturday evening, and then I took one more Sunday morning before I headed out of my house. And by the time I reached my destination, the product had started working. So it started working for me in hours, and not days, not weeks, in hours. And then also the Micro Daily itself, when I decided I had such miraculous effects with the brain boost, I wanted to try the Michael Daily. And so I got some of that and started taking that. And in about, I don't know, a few days, I would wake up and it was like when I was a teenager. Uh, when we were kids, we would wake up and like, we don't want to stay in bed. We want to get out of bed and go do something. That's how it was. And this get up and go that was slowly leaving, it came back in full force. I was a teenager. I was ready to go play basketball because I still love to do that. And I'm pushing 70. And the thing is, it was the sleep, it was the energy, and also just a upbeat, positive mood, happy for no reason. Well, we're happy people anyway, but this just like added to it. And as a result, I'm very impressed with the products. When I tell people about it, I do emphasize that although these do not cure anything, what they do is they give us the food that we've been missing since we were kids. And once the body gets all it needs, it can itself bring about miracles. Sorry if that was too long.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Again, Alex, always love hearing your story. So thank you very much. All right, well let's get Greg to give us an update. But Greg, you don't start at the end of the story. Tell us your brother-in-law's whole story now. So don't go shortchanging us. You got to back up. You got to show us documents. I'm gonna get off the screen. Tell us the whole story here, my friend. All right.
I'm already going to go ahead and take my green screen off and let y'all see my messy little storage room. But anyway, all right, Randy, my brother-in-law, he's got high blood pressure, had stage 4 kidney disease, and he's a diabetic. Well, 3 months ago, he had 1 point left before he went on dialysis with his kidneys. All right. So he came back from the doctors and let me know that. And I just got into the knowledge of Micro Daily and Engage Global in July. So this happened in July 13th, I believe. We got him started on August the 6th with Micro Daily EMF. Okay. In September, he went and let's see, let me look at my paperwork here. July, well, in September, on August the 6th, he started a double dosing of EMF. All right. He had another appointment on October the 5th for his kidneys. And his kidneys, if you drop below 15, and if your EGFR number drops below 15, you automatically have to go on dialysis. And they put a port in your arm and do surgery and all that good stuff. So they was already lining him up for that in September. But he told him to wait. He wanted to wait and a little bit before they started doing surgery on him to see what he can do to help improve his kidneys functions. So they said, okay, they really didn't want to wait. They wanted to go ahead and do that, but he, put a stop to that. And he was taking a double dose of EMF. But on October the 5th, he went to his kidney doctor and they did the blood test and everything. And his EGFR number rose 11 points. It went from 15 to 26.
That's amazing.
Yes. He's only 3 points away from being in stage 3 kidney disease. So they said, I don't know what you're doing. The doctor was speechless. She didn't have a clue. What he told her, he goes, I'm taking my vitamins, my prescriptions that you give me. I'm drinking he told her about he calls it a cocktail, the little mixed drinks with the apple cider vinegar, the lemon juice, and the water. And he walks every day. So, and she said, okay, whatever you're doing, you keep doing that. He said, okay. So she said, come back in January. Today, he went to the doctor again for his A1C. On July 13th, his A1C, as you can see right there, was
11.4.
11.4. That was 3 months ago. Okay, he did not start EMF until August the 6th, and a little bit later because that's when he ordered. So I say August 6th, that's his order day, but it took 3 to 5 days for it to get here. So anyway, he's only been on EMF for just say a month and a half or what have you, right? So today he goes to the doctor and the doctor's another doctor, it's his blood sugar doctor, and she's speechless because she wanted to know why he didn't have his port in his arm for his dialysis. He said, I didn't need it. And she goes, wait a minute. And then she goes and Willie was on with me on the Zoom when he came back from the doctor. And she was like, he was sitting there they were sitting there 10 minutes scratching his chin, trying to figure out how his kidneys number jumped 11 points. And she's like, okay, you got to be taking something. He goes on, and he just kept telling her, I'm taking my vitamins. I'm taking the medicine you prescribed me. I'm drinking my little cocktail, and I'm walking every day. He didn't say what vitamins he was taking. He just said, I'm taking my vitamins. So she goes, okay, are you taking another prescription or anything? He says, no. He goes, I'm not. I'm just taking my vitamins. And he kept repeating himself. Anyway, make a long story short, because I could sit here and talk 30 minutes on what he said. It was hilarious because she kept rubbing her chin and trying to figure out how everything's going. His kidneys is going up and his diabetes number
Is going down.
That number dropped 3.2 for his diabetes. Now, if he was not on a fixed income, Jonathan, he would be on the collagen and everything, but he's just taking double doses of the EMF 3 times a day.
Wow.
Okay, so that was the update. Me and Willie was like ecstatic about that because Willie knows some people that's got some issues too.
Let me jump in here real quick. You left out the great part though, dude, because you had the energy was so high. Randy was telling it, the doctor looked at said, wait a minute, got on the computer and they spent what, 10, 15 minutes?
10 minutes looking at notes, trying to figure out how this is happening.
And it was just, and then did this number and then, came back and look, I know me and Greg were just dying laughing. Randy was like, real calm, real collected. Hey, I'm just taking what you're telling me to take, doing my vitamins and doing my walk, So I thought that was just awesome.
You don't understand. It's not supposed to work.
It ain't supposed to work. And they said that there was nothing that he would be able to do to fix it. But he's showing them that there is something that he can do to fix it. And I got one more update, Jonathan, on my mother.
Wow.
My mother. Before she got on Micro Daily, she would walk from her bedroom to the bathroom and be completely out of breath.
Yep.
Okay. She would have to take a break to get back to her room to catch her breath. Now she's only taking the EMF also. And she's on the probiotic. Today, she comes down the hall going, hey, I just walked 8 minutes on a treadmill. Can't get no better than that, brother. Can't get no better than that. So I got Randy's out there walking right now. And I told him, I said, give me your papers because I'm going to get on this call tonight and let them know. And then I'm going to have another update in January because that's 3 months now. He's done did his 3 months for his kidneys and his A1C. Now we got to wait to January to see if he comes down to being off insulin or what have you.
Yeah.
Or his kidneys are back to normal. So we're going to see what happens there. But my mom, she's just trucking along, doing her thing, walking 8 minutes on the treadmill.
How old is she again?
She's 78.
78. Okay.
78, should be 79 and
She's a
So-
young woman. She got a lot more miles to go.
oh yeah. Yeah,
That's wonderful.
so Willie was sitting there going, wow, because Willie and me Zoom almost every day. Well, we do Zoom every day.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
he
much every
knows
day.
that, yeah, when she came out of her room, my little office right here, her room is 8 feet away. And she would just come out just to say hey to Willie, and she would be, you can ask him, she would be
I'm a
completely
witness.
out of breath.
Yeah. She's leaning. Hey, Willie. You know, hey, Mama, how you doing? Love you. Take care. Now she's all sassy. She's like, I walked 8 minutes on the treadmill.
Yeah. She was like, is my micro daily coming today? I check her tracking. Is it coming? I said, yeah, it's on this way, Mom. She says, okay, because I'm about to run out. I gotta have it. So yeah, she's all about it. So yeah, we are pumped about what we see. I'm real pumped because I ain't got my glasses on, and I've been taking the eye boost, brain boost, EMF, and I'm seeing my computer clearly. And that's my own little personal thing, personal testimony, because I'm blind. Without glasses, I ain't supposed to see nothing. And here I am. I can read the screen, and Willie will send me something without my glasses before, and I'd have to get like this to read the screen, like what does that say? Now I can sit back in my chair and go, oh, okay. And Willie's like, you can read that? I'm like, yeah, I can read it. So, but
This is
it's exciting to see what's going on. What's mind-boggling is when the doctors are speechless.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Well, we look forward to your to more updates from you, Greg and Willie.
Yeah, January, you will see it. Yeah, let them numbers keep on dropping.
Y'all bring the updates, gentlemen. Bring the updates. That's a wonderful thing. Because you know what it does is the updates, of course, these stories energizes us. So that's the reason why everybody needs to hear that. That's what the majority of the people that are here now really come to hear, the other testimonials. And we'll give a brief, our product point at some point. But there was some more hands up of those who had some stories. So I think I saw Iris's hand up, I saw Jean's hand up, I saw Maxine's hand up, I saw Sharon's hand up, and I saw Sonia's hand up. So any one of you can go first. It's okay. Just turn your camera on or just open your mic and just tell us your story. No? Sharon, I know you got a story. Go ahead, Sharon. Not unmuting, huh?
Hi, Jonathan.
Who's
This
that?
is
Jean?
Jean. Yes,
Ah.
hi, how are you?
Very
Yes.
good, Jean. Very good.
I can say, I don't have too many medical issues, thank God, but I can say that I've gotten a little more energy. Not in my 20s, of course, but I can feel a little more energy. And at one point, I had a little pain in my left arm, but now I don't even notice that it's there anymore. And that's about it.
She says that's about it. Every little improvement is major because remember, none of us is getting any younger. We're all the list should be getting higher as to what's going on with us. Even a small amount of improvement is an aha moment because it's supposed to be getting worse. Greg's brother-in-law is not supposed to be going from stage 4 kidney disease to stage 3. That's not the way it's supposed to go. It's for bad to worse to dead. That's the way it works. But thank you very much for sharing your story, Jean. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And when the improvement comes along, tell us about the improvement. Okay, Sharon, go ahead. You were there a minute ago, Sharon. Where'd you go? Got spooked on us, huh? Okay. All right. Well, when you're ready to unmute again, go ahead and do that. Dolores.
Yeah, I have a today story about my husband. We had the in-house visit with his nurse today. And when she stayed about an hour and a half, a little over an hour, when she left, she said, somebody's taking real good care of you, because everything that she tested with him, it was good. His blood pressure was good. Matter of fact, she took his blood pressure a couple of times. Blood pressure was good. Oxygen level was good. He has AFib. Well, he's been diagnosed with AFib, but the heart, everything was good. Everything was good. And so I had all of his vitamins sitting there for her to, and she wrote everything down and looked at it along with his medicine. But today he had a very good visit from the nurse. That's the only thing she could say was he's being taken real good care of.
Mm-hmm. Another outstanding one. So now he's getting younger too, right? He's the clock is going backwards. I mean, how young is he?
His son will be 84.
84 and doing better than he was 5-10 years ago.
Doing better than he was last year.
Better than he was last year for sure.
Yep.
It's going in the wrong direction. That's but the right direction for him, of course. That's another beautiful thing. Thank you very much for sharing.
Sure.
Okay, anybody else want to give us an update? So if you don't have any updates, there have been some lingering questions. Some have been, lingering. We had some questions that were lingering that never got addressed. We still have Jeff here with us right now. So if you've got some lingering questions about something, then now's the time to ask your question. Now is that time. What's something that's been on your mind that you've never been able to ask before, and you're just wondering about? Well, here's what we'll do then. Okay, Maxine's got the first question here, Jeff. So let's hear Maxine's question, or Maxine's story, because her hand was up also. So go ahead, Maxine.
I have a question. If a person have thyroid disease like Hashimoto's, what should they take?
Well, that's actually
Microdaily EMF right there.
easy.
Right there. Just yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. We're done.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. And you may want to have her begin. I hate to say her just because I'm making that.
But it is a her. It's not me, but it's her.
Okay. Do a little more than just the 3 and 3. Maybe do 5 and 5 or 5, 5 and 5.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the increased doses make a big difference, especially when you've got a few extra miles on you and you got a chronic issue. One of our clients here, who's been a regular on this program, has had a thyroid problem for about 3 years or so. All the numbers are going completely in the opposite direction now. Everything is turning around and has improved. And the doctor said, everything is good. She says, no, I need to see that down to like 0 or normal. She says, it's not good until this is out of the way. So, but she's very happy to see it going in the right direction. So microdaily EMF, take a little extra. Thank you. And Bill, let's bring Bill back. You got a question that's been lingering, Bill?
Yes. When I first got involved with the company, I had heard about glutathione, and that our product helps the body produce it naturally. There was another company out there that has a liquid glutathione.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out or find out what the difference would be.
That's a very good question. I can tell you this. The liquid glutathione can have some benefit if it's being absorbed in the mucosal glands. If you swallow it, it's going to be destroyed in digestion. So that's the main reason why glutathione, oral glutathione, doesn't have as much benefit. But there are some glutathiones out there that they rely on it being absorbed in the mouth.
Yes.
And they count on that as being the delivery mechanism. So, but it'll go into the bloodstream. The downside of it is it has a short half-life. So when you're absorbing it and it goes into the bloodstream, it has a very, very short half-life. It may last an hour or two. The best glutathione is the glutathione that your body manufactures. So
Correct.
when it's manufactured lymphocytic glutathione is the best. It lasts much longer. And so that's the difference with microdaily and another one. There's a second difference also. The second difference is, how do you say it nicely? That's a one-trick pony. All that is raising glutathione. Don't get me wrong now. Raising glutathione is extremely important. It's extremely important. But what Dr. Prasad has figured out is that glutathione is one endogenous antioxidant. But when you introduce a massive amount of exogenous antioxidants at the same time, the whole body now sees a tremendous reduction in oxidative stress and free radical damage simultaneously. So that's the difference. So microdaily is superior to any other product that only focuses on glutathione by itself. I hope that answers your question.
Yep.
I'll just jump in there a little bit because I asked Dr. Prasad specifically about that, and he says there's only a certain amount of the glutathione that, because your body doesn't recognize it as its own, it goes in and out, and it's a pass through. It's so you're really spending money for something that you're really not deriving the full benefit from.
And you'll get some benefit because I've heard testimonials from people, that do some amazing things, but it is short-lived usually.
That's the micro daily EFM product that produces that for the body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The micro daily, EMF.
Right.
Yeah, that's our favorite go-to, but it's like I've been chomping on the children's gummies here. I have them every time I'm here. I'm popping a couple of them, and it also has that same ability because it's the same formula.
Okay.
And if you're wondering specifically what it is, the one component in there, Bill, that causes lymphocytic glutathione is the N-acetylcysteine. So N-acetylcysteine, that raises lymphocytic glutathione. Alpha lipoic acid recirculates glutathione. So as the body makes it, alpha lipoic acid is also a glutathione precursor, but it also recirculates glutathione in the body as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Glad you asked that question.
Can I get
Willie,
clarification?
you got a comment on that, Willie?
Really?
On the EMF, I have someone that's she's like 5 foot tall. She's little, but she's got thyroid problems. And you stated that take 5 in the morning and 5 in the evening, or does it matter if you take like 3, 3, and 3, or does that matter?
Why can't I find? Oh, there you are. I tried to bring Willie onto the screen here and couldn't find him. That's a spelling issue.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
yes, yeah. You're
What's
all
your
good.
question again?
It's I heard his question. It's really, it's not weight based.
So is there an absorption issue, or 3
No,
times
no.
a day, 2 times a day? Doesn't matter.
Three times a day is better.
Okay.
And that's why it even says right on the bottle, take 3 capsules 2 to 3 times per day.
Okay.
If you can break the 24 hours in a day into 3 8-hour sections, it's going to be better than just 2 12 hours. Okay? It's just what it is. And
Okay.
if you're up against something, just have them with you. Toss 1 in, toss 2 in, just throughout the day. It's nothing but just nourishment for your body. And I'm really trying to get people to listen to their bodies more. We've been listening to our doctors, and it's just like, I only do what my doctor tells me. I only do what the doctor tells me. I only do what my doctor tells me. But you know what? Our doctors have told us that we need to measure our blood sugars multiple times throughout the day. We need to measure our high blood pressure multiple times throughout the day. If we really had to do that, if we really weren't listening to our body, the creator would have provided some kind of a little arm thing right here that would tell us what our blood pressure was, or that would, we'd be able to stick out our tongue and we could tell what our sugar level was. We need to lean into us being aware of what's going on in our bodies. And because whatever you think about, you bring about. And I tell you, the more you test, the worse it's going to get.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Very good. Thank you, Willie. Appreciate your bringing that question to the fore as well. Okay. So, Jeff, you've had some recent questions throughout the week also. Any interesting question that has come up that you think might be good to share?
Why sometimes when somebody starts out on the micro daily, do they get a little bit of an upset stomach?
Okay, that's a good one.
That one has come up a couple of times. It's not because the vitamin C isn't buffered, because it is. It's actually an amazing product. You can certainly take it on an empty stomach and you're not going to have any issues. If you do have issues, the recommendation is to just kind of power your way through it. In fact, I've had 2 of these in the last week where somebody has it's like they'll get some cramping, they'll get some, just some sick feeling that goes along with it. And I'll say, sip on some hydro, take some of the micronutrients that are in the micro daily, and instead of just going in directly in your mouth, mix it in with a little bit of yogurt. Just allow it to be out of the capsule and going into your stomach in a way that is already activated. And it's been amazing. And like I said, just 2 cases this week already, and it's just only Thursday. But both of those individuals who have just leaned into the suggestions have had amazing experiences. One of them, and this wasn't the one in the last 2 weeks, but one of them ended up passing quite a mass of parasites. And so the extra micro daily was having a little tussle with the with other things that were going on in her body.
Interesting. That's good. So parasites be gone. Nice to hear that one too. Thank you. Those are good comments. And Sonia has a question or a story to share with us. Either one, Sonia, go ahead.
Hello, Jonathan and Jeff. I had a question. I have a couple family members that have heart issues. They've had stents put in. The rhythm of their hearts are off. One of them even have a pacemaker. What should I recommend? I'm thinking of EMF, but I don't know. Should I have them double up on it like we normally say? Is there something in addition to that? What do you recommend?
How old are they?
60, early 60s for one, and older brother just hit 70. And then my stepmom is in her late 70s.
I've got a video, Jonathan, if we want to go back. It's going into the archives a little bit, but it's a nurse who has all the above. In fact, not just a pacemaker, she had a defibrillator installed as well because she had so many issues with her heart. So she refers to the product as MMF, but I could share that, and that's probably going to be my last contribution, and I've got to move on tonight.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Jonathan,
Thank you.
we can do this. Yeah.
Just to give you a little information on my background, I've been a nurse for 23 years. I was born with congenital heart disease. I've had 4 open hearts. In 2007, I went into heart failure, and they found out I had cardiomyopathy. I had no blood circulation. My heart function was down in the 20s. and got on a regimen of medications, and the doctor said, hopefully we'll bide you 10 years, and sent me home. Just recently, they ended up putting a defibrillator in me in case I went into cardiac arrest. And as I've aged, I've gotten worse. And because of all my open heart surgeries, I've had severe pain through my back, my legs, intolerable pain in my legs. So when she brought this to me, a friend of mine, Kathy, she says, try this. And I looked at her and I said, I have nothing to lose. Okay. My last appointment with my cardiologist, I was in VTAC for 15 beats. And that's right before you go into cardiac arrest. I don't do this. Anyway, I asked him, when does the defibrillator kick in? He says on the 16th beat, if we can't pace you out of it with your pacemaker. My comment to him was, I hope I die before that happens, because I've been shocked. I don't have enough fingers and toes to count how many times I've been shocked. I asked him, what do I do? And he goes, live your life. I turned 50 this year. I started the MMF 2 weeks ago. I'm on my 3rd packet. I no longer have the severe pain. My kidney functions were out of whack because I was taking so much ibuprofen. They weren't functioning. I no longer take ibuprofen, once in a while a Tylenol. But the day I took it, my daughter asked me if I was on amphetamines. Because I'm the girl that comes home from work. It's all I can do to get through a day. And I hit my bed. On the weekends, I don't go out. And since MMF, I no longer take naps. I have so much energy, I feel like I'm on speed. But I'm here to tell everyone this has changed my life. I'm not usually booby. I did go through some of the detox, and but I knew deep down inside my internal, everything felt great. I had never felt better in my whole entire life. I didn't know what normal was. I've never been normal. So if I can spread the word and get it out, how much it's changed my life, I'm there. Thank you.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah.
Jeff, that's an amazing one. Sonia, does that answer your question?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
They can start them out on a regular dose, and it might be a good idea to get them up to, to the level where acknowledging that they've got a chronic issue and it's pretty serious, so
Right.
doubling it up will probably ultimately be their best dose.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Wow. Okay. There we go. Thank you very much, Jeff, for sharing that one with us. I think everybody needs to carry that one in their back pocket and remember that we've got it to be able to share. Okay. So here's what we're going to do, folks. Going forward on Thursdays, we're going to try to keep Thursday to where we can just answer questions. answer questions, and hear your stories. So it's your time to talk. It'll be your time to just lay it out. Lay it out. We want to hear what's going on with you. We want to hear what's going on with your clients, and we want to hear what questions that's been lingering. So write them down, bring them to Thursday night. So that's what we'll be doing. So on Tuesdays, we'll be at 7:00, and that'll be a product a product presentation. On Sundays, we'll have a little bit deeper dive on our product, a conference, health conference. But on Thursdays, that's yours. Okay, testimonials and questions. We're going to try that for the whole month through the month of November, and see how that works out. So we'll be testing that out just to see how it works through the month of November. Okay. All right. Very good.
What about October? We're going to do October as well as November.
October, November through November.
Wonderful. Love it. I'm showing up.
And just see how it works out, because we know that there's a lot going on, and we know that there's things that you guys never get a chance to say, and questions you never get a chance to ask. So we got to make that change and start making that adjustment. So for any who would like to stick around for a business meeting, we're going to take about 30 minutes and cover some business matters for those who are interested in the Engage Global business. Okay. Thank you very much again for those of you who came for the regular presentation. Have yourselves a good night.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff.
Sorry I got to run. I'd love to stick around for the business, but I'm helping some others. So
all right, do your thing.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Jeff.
Bye.
Yeah, I think there was a couple more questions that was in our chat too that didn't get a chance to talk about. What was one of those questions? It was about, getting headaches. Getting headaches. And what is it? IRB, irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS? Is that what you were thinking about, Daryl?
Actually was talking about the study that Dr. Bassar had to do to show that the microdaily doesn't interfere with any medication. I probably got it wrong.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, bring that one back up.
I think it's the IBR.
Internal Review Board. So you're right. Yeah. And that'll be a good one because Jeff knows a lot of the history of
the IBR. I think it's the app. There you go. That's it.
Yeah. I think Internal Review Board. So bring that up again next Thursday, because he's got a lot of the history on how that went with the whole congressional business thing, majigger. Okay. So good question. When it comes to headaches, that's usually a detox reaction. It's called Herxheimer effect. I forget the guy's name, but it's Herxheimer who figured it out, that when your body is now being introduced to things that arrest and control oxidative stress and free radical damage, it starts dumping toxins into the bloodstream. The blood gets a little thicker. And when the blood gets thicker, that means it has a harder time going through the capillaries and doing its job. So that causes a headache. The only way to ameliorate that is to drink more water. So you drink more water, keeps the body nice and hydrated, the blood, thinner, more liquid, better hydration, headaches are reduced. Toxins are now being eliminated better because the toxins need to make their way into the lymphatic system and then out of the body as waste. But if you slow the process down because of poor hydration, then that can lead to discomfort in any number of ways. Okay, so that would be the reason or the rationale for making sure that you drink plenty of water. Okay, all right. Now, so let's talk a little bit about the Engage Global, the business. So let me just see by show of hands, is there anybody here right now for the first time wondering if Engage Global is a business opportunity? Is there anyone here wondering about that? Wondering if Engage Global is a business opportunity? That's an important question. I'm just going to wait until, if you're on the fence and trying to figure it out, you just go ahead and say it. Okay, so then I think it's safe for me to say that everyone here right now believes already that Engage Global is a business opportunity, and not just a business opportunity, the best thing going right now? Is it safe for me to say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Then we're all on the same page. So then I'm at this point now saying that, okay, every one of you is now trying to say, okay, well, how do I make it the best opportunity for me? Right? So what do I need to do? Well, there's a couple of things that you need to do. And some of it involves sticking with the basics. Believing that you got the best business opportunity is right at the beginning. So that's right, the main thing right off the bat. The fact that we heard so many stories tonight indicates that you also believe that you should become a product of the product. And if you're not there yet, be that. So make yourself knowledgeable of how the product has impacted you. And there's no such thing as a small story. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you about my right toe. Y'all keep hearing me talk about my right toe. But let me just tell you something. If your right toe isn't right, it's not a small thing. That's a big thing. I was having trouble going up and down stairs. I had trouble walking. I didn't want to do things because of my big toe. So I had to apply the same suggestions and realize that I'm no spring chicken anymore. I got to double up my doses. I had to recognize that. And recognize that what I was taking when I was in my 30s and my 40s and in my 50s, I can't take that anymore. I have to take extra. And so by taking extra, and by the way, every time I tried to go back down to the lower doses, because maybe it was just in my mind, my big toe said, hello, and remind me that I'm a 2X person, okay? Well, and I cannot seem to get around that. I am definitely a 2X person when it comes to microdaily. And each one of us needs to figure out what our level is. It's called titrating. Now, most doctors won't tell you that because the doctor says, if I tell you to take this, you take this. But in the naturopathic world, the naturopathic doctors, and Dr. Nkuzi was the one who related this to me. Person needs to learn how to titrate. In other words, you figure out where your level is. If one dose or a plus, one extra dose isn't enough, then try the 2X. If 2X isn't enough, try 2X plus. If 2X plus isn't, well, that's double dose plus one extra dose. If 2X plus is not enough, then go 3X dose. If 3X isn't enough, go 3X plus, right? So you understand the levels, right? Let me just make sure everybody gets the levels. The levels are 1X, that's normal. So that's the green and the purple is 2 capsules twice a day, right? That's 1X. 1X plus, this is just me, my language, okay? 1X plus is an extra dose. So once you hit 50, 60, you at least need to be at the 1X plus. Okay, so that's 3 doses. And it doesn't matter how you do the three doses, by the way. It doesn't matter how you do the 3, right? So 2, 2, 2, or 3 and 3, right? So it's okay to do it either whatever way you're most disciplined with. It's plus. Chronic problem, consider being at 2X. And 2X is simply double the standard dose. If it's serious, 2X plus. Right? So that's double dose plus an extra dose. Okay? So that's 3 doses, but 2X. And again, it doesn't matter how you do the 3rd dose. You can split it up. Right? And for some people, you can even do part EMF and part methylated, right? But you can figure that out. In other words, your middle dose could be methylated, but split it. So 2X EMF, 2X EMF, split the middle dose into methylated, add it to the other 2, right? If you want to save a couple dollars. So whichever way, but life or death, 3x plus, right? Simple. It's a simple rule of thumb, right? Life or death, 3x plus, but become a product of the product, number one. And the second thing you want to do is have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a plan. It's willy-nilly. It's like getting in a boat and just pulling up the sail, just dropping the sail and just seeing where the boat goes. You don't know if you're going to hit a rock or you don't know if you're going to hit paradise. You just don't know. But if you got a plan, roadmap that. And what we've been putting together, what I've been trying to build, Jeff has been here for 10 years. And I still remember the first, I don't remember what year it was right off the top of my head, but it was about 7 or 8 years ago when Jeff said to me that the company was, doing better. They were moving into a big office. They were in Provo, Utah. And by this point, I was convinced that the product was good because I've seen so many people with diabetes, just like Greg's brother-in-law. I was convinced that the product was good because I saw 4 people have dramatic results with diabetes, and I'd never seen that before. And kind of piggybacking off Bill's question earlier, I had been promoting and selling to thousands of people one of the best glutathione enhancement products in the world. And the one thing it did not do that good with was diabetes. In fact, maybe 1 out of 3 benefited from it, and mostly the ancillary issues associated with diabetes, not diabetes itself. I never saw A1C drop, Bill. So on just focusing on glutathione alone, okay? So that was one of the reasons why it was clear to me you had to do more than just focus on glutathione. And that's why Dr. Prasad's product is really unique. And mind you, I'm talking about a lot of this glutathione product, and not just oral glutathione, lymphocytic glutathione. So it just was not that good when it came to, particularly with diabetes. But I flew out to Provo, Utah, because I wanted to see this company and look in the eye, the man who was behind this company, and meet all the significant people. It was a good trip. It's Provo, Utah. So, it's Provo, Utah. Go on out there if you want to, but because it was Provo, I felt like I was in the middle of nowhere. And that's what it felt like. But it was a nice trip, and I learned a little bit about the company. Our relationship didn't last. I'm just being honest now. I'm just being real. Our relationship did not last because they didn't know how to ship product. They didn't understand what customer service was. They did not understand that the people who paid money for the product were important. They didn't get that back then. So it took them a while to figure that out. And it wasn't until probably about 3 or 4 years ago when Alfreda called me up and she says, I got some people who need to hear about Immunical. She says, there's 4 of them that need to hear about Immunical. Can you talk to them? And by this time I hadn't done, I wasn't doing any microdaily presentations, but I know glutathione like the back of my hand. I was flying all over the country for 5 years, giving lectures on glutathione. I could cough that up in my sleep. So, okay, fine, I'll talk to him. So I gave her a date and a time. 2 or 3 days before this appointment with these 4 people, she says, okay, well, I'm up to 20 now. I said, 20? I thought you said 4. She said, well, I figured you talking to 4, you might as well talk to 40. And then she started barking out orders to me for me to invite people to her meeting. That's Alfreda. I don't know if y'all know Alfreda or not, but next thing you know, I'm yes, ma'am, and I'm inviting people just like I'm told. I'm sending out my invitations. About 40 people came to this meeting that was supposed to be for 4 people. And from that point on, Miss Alfreda had okey-doked me into doing a weekly meeting. And that's what got me back engaged. I always knew the product was phenomenal. I always knew that. But that started it. And then Jeff called me up and said, they've fixed all the problems. And he had to itemize all the problems that they fixed, everything I just mentioned to you, and how and why. Why was it a different company? And by this point, too, they had already come up with the all of it bonus. And the all of it bonus sets this company apart. It really does. I still was not locked and loaded and ready to run with it, as an exclusive business opportunity. And again, I'm just telling you guys, being real and telling you my story. I just was not convinced because, fool me once, shame on you, right? Fool me once. Well, how does it go? You know what I mean? Fool me twice. So it wasn't going to happen. I was not going to run down that road real quick without being really convinced that the company really had it right. And I think I finally got convinced maybe about a year ago. But by this time I had to make a transition from things I was doing. I was I'd already had a lot of irons in the fire. But by this past May, forget them irons in the fire. This is it. This is it because I see a pathway to making significant money and retirement money and clearing out some, a lot of personal issues, a lot of personal losses. Because, and you live long enough and someone's trying to shaft you. So just hear that warning. Live long enough, somebody trying to shaft you. And it's a shame that is the case when there's so many more productive things you could be doing with your time and your intelligence. But that's not the way it works. So, but I think that this will do it. And I believe now that I think everybody that's on this call right now, I really do firmly believe that everybody here could be legacy next year if you wanted to. Now you're saying to yourself, okay, belief is one thing. How? How can I be legacy in 1 year? Yeah, that's what you're wondering too, Sonia? Is that your plan, Sonia? That's your plan? You already have a plan? Yeah? You mind coming on screen and telling me about your plan? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your plan to get to legacy, Sonia.
I don't have a concrete plan as of yet. I'm in process, but definitely going to work with the marketing program. I am signed up for the marketing system.
Okay.
And we'll be using that to make it happen.
Okay. Okay. So you're going with the marketing system to get your plan because you want to hit legacy next year.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's good enough. That's good enough. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. And some may not be interested in the marketing system and using that as the mechanism for it. That's okay. Whatever you decide to use. But the one thing that you might want to seriously consider is getting yourself 4 good team builders. That's all you got to do. 5 is insurance. But if you get yourself 5 good team builders, you can hit legacy by next year. And the reason I can say that is because all they have to do is reach freedom. If those 5 people all reach freedom, what happened to you?
Legacy.
Legacy. That's it. So all it takes is 5. You could do it with 3, but they got to be working harder and it's a little bit more of a challenge. But if you get 5, all they have to do is hit freedom. That means all they have to want is $1,000 a month. So if you got 5 people who only want $1,000 a month, that's your ticket to legacy. Because you pretty much get what they get. That's the way it will work.
Yes.
And then if you decide you want to reach legacy 2, it may take a little bit more work, but it's possible. Mm-hmm. Now, Lisa said something just this past week, and with her people, she says she doesn't see this as being a lot of hard work. And Lisa's on the meeting right now. She said when she has interested people, she says, I just get them to the meeting on Sunday and let y'all do the work. I'm still waiting for Lisa to send me my check or just send me on Zelle. She could just Zelle me, okay? She said, I just bring them to the meeting on Sunday and just let y'all do the work. She said, because if I get them there, they're closed. That's a powerful statement. That's a powerful statement. But that's seriously what we've been working on now for the past couple of years. And it's taken, out of all the years of doing presentations, most of my presentations were all over the world, all over the country. Back and forth, Long Beach, Nevada, Albany, Georgia. I know my car knew the way to Albany, Georgia, blindfold. I didn't have to drive. I just sit in the car and I can take me a little nap. The car would just make its way on into Albany. So I was there all the time. My sister lived there. Dolores was there. And Dolores just didn't know how to slow down. She claimed she was going slow. She claimed she was being balanced, but every time I looked around, she maxed out the diamond. She maxed out the customer compensation plan and claiming she don't have time for this business. That's what she said. She maxed out the customer compensation. Okay. 30%. 30% on every customer. 30% on every customer. That's Dolores in Albany, Georgia. So, and those meetings were good. They were mostly PowerPoint and on a projector in hotels or the police station we were giving meetings at, or in homes. That's the way it worked. But now it's a whole new day because of Zoom. We can literally be now giving presentations anywhere in the world. So those of you, Vondrea has a new client now in the U.S. Virgin Isles. Doesn't matter. They can be here. Bernard is working on a group of people down in Ecuador. It doesn't matter. You know, we can give the presentations there. It's just yo no hablo español. So we got a little problem there, but somebody speaks Spanish, so there's folks who can just translate, whatever it takes. So it doesn't matter. We can do that. So you've got a support system now that we just didn't have back then. And now we're doing 3 solid meetings every week, 3 meetings a week. So Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 7:65 p.m. And then we're doing trainings on Monday. And the company has a bunch of meetings. There's no shortage of places where you can bring your clients and we'll close them. We'll help you close them. How many of you were busy yesterday closing out your clients from Sunday? I know a bunch of you were. I know this because you was killing me between Monday and Tuesday with your guests who were there on Sunday. And that's the way it works, because by the time they finish that meeting on Sunday, whatever it is, it's because they hear strong, compelling testimonials. And they don't hear a whole bunch of hype. We don't waste time with hype. I don't believe in the hype business. I'm not in the hype business. Sorry. It's just not what I do. But if it's real, you'll get real. So don't mind telling you that. You will absolutely get real, but you won't get hype. So, and now, for those who are interested in the marketing system can shorten your track to legacy. So in fact, I would have to tell you that you might have to shoot a little higher than legacy, because you probably would struggle to keep it at legacy once you're using the marketing system, because the next part of the program is something I've never done exclusively before, but Brian is doing this now. Brian is already a good ways along to building a business funnel. So we currently have 2 health funnels, but he's now building a business funnel, a funnel that's strictly geared toward people who are searching for home-based business. And Greg shared with us a statistic a couple of weeks ago. So Greg, you mind sharing your thought on that again for us, please? Greg said that he gave us a number of people who were doing searches on the internet for business opportunity or home-based business. You want to speak to that again, Greg, please?
Yeah, everybody thinks about, well, you got company that's 10 years old, it can get saturated and blah, 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 blah. And I got to looking on Google and Bing and a couple other search engines. There's over 150,000 people a day looking for a way to make money from home to supplement their income. So all this stuff about people saying, oh, your business is going to get saturated and all, that's all horse crap. I don't believe that. So with this right here, this product and our marketing system, and yeah, you can, if you know a little bit about what you're doing, you ain't even got to know a whole lot. You can know a little bit and you will win in this business. 150,000. All you need is 0.01% of that, and you're going to make a great income, period. So,
absolutely. Because based off of our calculations, even if you're just, you get your 5, and then you're helping them to just get their 5 and help their people get their 5, the whole system is all set up.
Yeah.
Then you get to legacy in about 120 days, less than 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's a short walk from there to get to legacy 2. It's not that much more difficult. It starts to expand exponentially. But listen to that number, 150,000 people a day.
A day.
They're searching for a home-based business. Now, we might not even had that kind of confidence years ago, but see, COVID has changed a lot of things. And while we're currently hearing, even very powerful people in this country saying that there's no more pandemic, I'm still getting emails almost every day from people talking about some of the reality that's taking place right now.
Mm-hmm.
So people on their jobs would much rather work from home. And if they can find a way to work for themselves from home, a real way to work for themselves from home, all the better. So, and we have that now, right?
Absolutely.
So we've got a way to.
What better way to make money from home by really helping people?
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is focus on helping people and the money will show up.
That's right. That's right. So we're there. And that's the long and the short of it, folks. That's the long and the short of it. It's just a matter of us putting ourselves in a position to help people. So don't think of it as being complicated. The one thing that you'll want to do is, as I mentioned, become a product of the product, and then be willing to share your product with other people. The other thing, if you're not involved in the engaged marketing system, don't worry about that. The tools that exist with this company are still the best tools in the industry. The company will send out samples for you. So right now, I logged into my wife's app, and she's the last time I checked, she had about 40 something samples that she can send out. The company will send those out for her. And she's signed up maybe another 3 or 4 customers and affiliates in the past 3-4 weeks or so. So she's probably got about 60 samples that she can send out, that the company will send out for her. So once people start popping into that funnel and they say they want to try it, in fact, all you have to do is just contact them and say, listen, if you have any questions, just here I am. I'm available. I'm a real person. And if you'd like to try the product, just let me know. Just text me your address and I'll ask the company to go ahead and send you a free sample. And remember, every time you sign a preferred customer, you get 5. They will send out 5 free samples for you. And there's a lot of people that have become preferred customers just from samples. And now I'm at the point now where I'm like, okay, well, you'd like a sample, but do you have another family member that I can also send a sample to? So I'm trying to send 2 or 3 samples to the same house because I want to guarantee that they get some results. I'm trying to guarantee it. So I'll send one to mom, to dad, the grandma, a cousin, son, and a daughter. The Garrett, so I need somebody in there gonna get some results. I'm getting a little bit like Bertha now. Slap that funnel in that mouth and start pouring it in there. I need to see something. Show me something. Respond. So, but take advantage of that. Use that system. Get to know your back office. Communicate with your team, and your customers. Let them know that you care about them. I got a message from someone just a couple of days ago. She says, "Oh no, I need to stop my my subscription. I can't use the product." We just talked. Next thing you know, she writing down a recipe of how she can use the product. So much for that won't work for me. Now she's experimenting. She's coming up with a way that she can take some time, and what is that saying about people caring about what you know? Well, how's that go again? What does that say? People don't care
until you show them how much you care.
Mm-hmm. They don't care what you know. They want to know how much you care. See, so show the folks, show people on your team and in your downline, your customers, how much you care, and stay in touch with them. Help them out. Try to solve their problems. And if you can't get help from your immediate upline, shoot past them and try to get help from their upline. And if you can't get to their upline, go to their upline. And you can't get to them, find your way to somebody who can give you some help. So that's part of the reason why we're making it so Thursday will be that just in case you can't find someone to give you some help. So Thursday, that's what you'll find right here. Thursdays at 6:00. We're going to be hearing your stories and your questions. No presentations on Thursdays, at least through the month of November. Okay? Only hearing your stories and your issues. So you got questions, you got issues, bring them here. And for those who are, we're going to have a special meeting this coming Saturday. I'll send it out in the back office or in the WhatsApp chat. We're going to be having a special meeting on Saturday. We'll have about a 2-hour window. I say window, where we're at the halfway mark of the month. So now we can just kind of use that as a measuring stick for where we are and how we can achieve our goals for the end of the month. Okay. So plan on that late Saturday. So probably be about, I don't know, I'm guessing it's going to be about 8 or 9 o'clock on Saturday. Okay. Something like that. Because we don't want to totally mess up your weekend, but that'll at least be available to help out. Okay. So sometime late Saturday. So we'll just be measuring where we are and figuring out what the plan is to the end of the month, because we need to finish this month out strong. We got an extra day in this month. It's 31 days in this month. How many of you, by the way, are running ahead of your numbers from last month? Anybody? Do you track that? You notice it? Yeah, I know you notice. I know the serious business goes. You know exactly where you are. you know exactly what your numbers are, don't you? So Greg knows his numbers. So you tracking ahead, Greg? Rob, you're tracking ahead. So that's what we need to do, is just look and see what the benchmark is. By Saturday, let's talk about what the plans are for those who need extra help. Let's figure it out. Okay, so we'll be doing that on Saturday. Okay, any questions before we wrap up? We said it was going to be about 30 minutes, and we just went a few minutes past that. Any last minute questions before we wrap up? Okay, so this coming Sunday, we'll have our presentation, but mark down the 23rd. Everybody remember what's on the 23rd? See if I can find it real quick.
Diabetes.
Yeah. Now you can find this in your Engage Global app.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's there now. I'm not sure. If it's not, just send Taya an email and or call her and complain about it. but it should be in the Engage Global app where you can find this particular flyer, because you want to send this to everybody. Because if you want to build your business, trust me when I tell you, you can target diabetes. Diabetes will be one way that you can absolutely build your business if you target diabetes, because everybody either has it or is connected to somebody who has diabetes. There's 130 million people in this country right now who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, and the number is projected to go up. Okay, so you want to send that flyer to everybody that you can. Put it on social media, put it on your Facebook pages, put it on your LinkedIn pages, put it everywhere to get folks at that meeting. So it should be a pretty big one. People didn't quite understand the significance of inflammation from last week, but I think it was one of our best meetings. And I believe the Adelina Williams story was overwhelming and compelling. Anybody get any feedback from last week so far? Dolores, did you get any feedback from any of your clients that was there on Saturday? I mean, on Sunday?
I did. Matter of fact, I got one customer, and I have another lady that supposedly I'll hear from her tomorrow. This person used to take the product before. She was taking the original, and I talked to her yesterday. She said, I don't want that one. She said, I want that. I want the top of the line, the EMF. So that's what we order for her, the EMF and the collagen.
And sometimes it's because someone who got dramatic results like Adelina did, when they hear what that person did, I want the one she took.
Right, exactly.
So a lot of folks have been trying to get a hold of her. I mean, folks have contacted me saying, can I get her number? So as amazing as a lot of y'all stories have been, I don't think a whole lot of people have been asking me for your numbers, but they've been asking for Adelina's phone number. So
that's an excellent testimony. Excellent.
That was kind of amazing. Okay, so let's plan for that then. All right. So this coming Saturday, I'll shoot the note out. Just keep your eyes and ears open. Be probably somewhere around 8, 9 o'clock, and then we'll just spend a couple hours. Just if you need the help, for those who need the help, so we can figure out where we are and plot a course to the end of the month. So we meet our goals and our march for this month. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much. Keep up your work, and we'll see y'all on Saturday.
Thank you.
Let's go. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Great evening.